The saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, come on.
The same goes for trails that look like any other.
Times Beach has been around for about 30 years. It was originally a contained disposal facility built by the Army Corps of Engineers.
At the nexus of Lake Erie, Niagara, and Buffalo Rivers, a lot of wildlife makes it home.
Some issues over the last couple of years with storm damage, but we're recovering.
Thriving, if you will, but the damage done by historic seiches over the past 5 years still litter the ground.
6 major seiches. This was the least of them.
Rising water is just one issue. Jay Burney says plastic pollution is another.
And all along, you can't walk without spreading the plastic.
He points to a 2012 study done by then SUNY professor Dr. Sherry Mason. She found Lake Erie has more microplastic per inch than the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
The issue of plastic pollution, sadly, has only gotten worse since our initial studies.
Plastic pollution is more than just the bottles we see on the beach.
It's microplastics that kind of get into our blood and our lungs and our brains and our, placental boundaries.
She says 60% of litter is unintentional, mainly because we just don't understand the products we're using. For example, compostable dog poop bags.
They can just throw it down the storm drain and that's okay. And it's not. They don't degrade in the environment. They degrade in industrial composting facilities.
So why does Lake Erie have such a high concentration?
What we see in Lake Erie isn't just from people that live around Lake Erie, although Lake Erie is the most densely populated of the Great Lakes. The plastic that's in Lake Erie is coming from the flow from Lake Superior and Lake Huron.
She adds, even if you can't see the lake from your front door, what you do does affect you and your family.
Every piece of plastic that we find in the environment ultimately comes from us.
Back at Times, brainstorming is underway to recreate this space to absorb the rise and fall of the lake and study the water pollution inside the now broken dike.
We understand how important this area is. It gives us more of an incentive to figure out how to be better conservationists.
Brianna Foose, Spectrum News.